Hey, I want to talk about Kabuto a little bit, particularly the bow, and a strike that is really dynamic. Okay, so let's get right into it. So, we've all seen sort of the very traditional sort of bow handling of the bow, stepping through. I mean, like one of my first katas that I learned, Kihon bow, where I step through, and then I sort of come up and down into this strike position. Very common, very, very traditional. I think we've all seen this before, but I want to focus more on doing this sort of dynamic sort of movement where I kind of come across my body. And the reason why I want to talk about that is because if you're looking to achieve sort of maximum acceleration, and if you're looking to challenge yourself as far as control goes, controlling the weapon, doing this sort of technique, explosive sort of technique, is a great way to help you learn how to use the bow. So I'll just demonstrate the technique, okay? So my target's sort of in front of me. I'm stepping in sort of like this and then coming through, okay? And then that's the strike, okay? So hands come up, okay? Now look again at my body, right? So my target is sort of in front of me, but I'm really kind of using my hips here, because just like any other martial arts technique, I'm a huge believer in everything is generated from your core, or your corridor of power that I like to call it here, right? So you're stepping in, I'm sort of winding up, building tension, and then I compress or contract as I drop, and I don't want to think about it as like I'm twisting into the technique. I almost want to think like I'm corkscrewing down into the technique, and I'm kind of like getting a little bit shorter in my stature as I'm coming in. So I'm sort of up, and then I come down in it like that. And that sort of corkscrew motion provides the rotation, but it also keeps everything kind of together, because what you don't want to be doing is you don't want to be sort of like swinging with your arms sort of out, right? You want to keep everything in this sort of, you want to keep your elbows as close to the body as you can during the rotation. And the good way to think about doing that is by having this idea of like corkscrewing down into the target. So you're not, the technique is not flat this way, okay? The technique is also not straight up and down. The technique is kind of like coming down and across on an angle. That's how I like to think about keeping the bow controlled, keeping the elbows close to the body. So give that a shot. I just kind of like repeat this motion. So I'm standing here like this, stepping into the target, corkscrewing down, and then back. 1, 2, right, back. 3, corkscrew, right, and back. And then sort of switch sides, coming through, same thing, down, right, back, up, down, back. Okay, and you want to sort of get into this motion, right? Switching sides, back and forth. This is one great exercise that you can do to help develop your, not only your bow technique, but also this idea of corkscrewing down. Same thing applies when you're doing, so for example, Geidan Uke, right? You're corkscrewing down into the technique, right? You're not just coming across, you're not just coming down, you're sort of coming in on that downwards angle into the position. Coming in, and then, right? So think about that when you're using the bow. Using your core, keeping your elbows tight into the body, corkscrewing, and don't be afraid to lift that back heel off the deck. So thank you. Hopefully that helps. If you guys have any questions, let me know, and I will be sure to get back to you. Thanks a lot. Take care.